These are all NFL questions, by the way. What second year running back will have a breakout year this year? This is amongst the likes of Isaiah Pacheco, Kenneth Walker the second, Brees Hall, James Cook, and Damian Pierce.
Um, yeah, here's my problem with this. Isaiah Pacheco is already going to be going out the window for me. I don't think he's a bad player, but I think Kansas City's scheme is why that kid is any good. I mean, I hate to be rude, but if you take him to any other team, he's terrible. When you have to worry about Patrick Mahomes, you don't even care about the run game. You could care less about what's happening on in the backfield with the run game. And Pacheco is going to be still splitting carries, I think. And if he's going to be splitting, he might be getting majority of 60-40. But I don't think this is what I mean. And he almost had 1,000 yards last season. I mean, a breakout season for this guy is going to be 11, 1,200 plus, and I don't see that happening. I like Kenneth Walker and Brees Hall, but Brees Hall coming off this injury is scary. And I do keep seeing things online about the Jets are still in pursuit for Dalvin Cook if Miami does not take him. Um, Kenneth Walker, Damian Pierce, breakout season. What's a breakout season for Damian Pierce? I mean, he just ran for 1,000 yards last season. I mean, a breakout season for this guy, like I said, just like Pacheco, is going to have to be 12, 1,300 yards. My pick on this list is actually James Cook. I think there's a lot of arguing happening in Buffalo between Josh Allen and that receiving core. I think Buffalo knows that one of their bigger problems was Josh Allen tossing this football like a machine and throwing these picks. And I think Buffalo puts a lot more into the run game because when Devin Singletary had his first season at Buffalo over 800, 900 yards, they were playing Kansas City in the AFC Championship. Buffalo has not had a rusher with over 1,000 yards in the past 5 years. And I think James Cook, all he needs to do is get 800, 900 yards to be a breakout compared to what he was last year with all 300 yards and 7 fumbles. So I think James Cook has the best chance on this list to be that breakout running back next season.
I think that was definitely a hot take. I think James Cook is fucking horrible. Um, But if I had to pick anyone on this list, I'm in between two guys, and it's Damian Pierce and Kenneth Walker. I really like Kenneth Walker, and under Pete Carroll and the way that they build their offenses, I think Kenneth Walker could have a really big season this year. He's definitely going to be on my fantasy football team this year. I will guarantee you that. Um, and Damian Pierce, I mean, we're talking about a guy that came out last year on a really, really bad Houston Texans team. Um, and he came out and he proved, and he's a very, very explosive guy. I think he could end up being really, really good, but this is one of these guys that is gonna end up being horrible in 2 years or 3 years. I mean, he is one of those guys that if he sees you, he's not gonna make you miss. He's just gonna run you over. And this is where this is a injury-prone situation for running backs. But I think I'm in between those two guys. I really like Kenneth Walker. I really like Damian Pierce. He gave the Cowboys a bunch of issues when the Texans played them. Um, but between those two, I really like him. I like Brees Hall. I think he's also kind of that Kenneth Walker build where he's a threat on in the passing game and the running game. But I really like Kenneth Walker with Pete Carroll and that the way that they build their offensive schemes. But I mean, plain and simple, I think James Cook is dog shit. I think he's horrible.
I just don't think he got enough opportunity at Buffalo because Buffalo was throwing the football way too much.
I think you put him up there with Pacheco. I think without the offensive situation that those two have, they're horrible.
Yeah, but like I said, the break we need a break. If we're talking breakout season, Damian Pierce getting another 1,000 yard season is no different than last year. Brees Hall is expected to get 1,000 yards the way he was playing. Kenneth Walker almost had 1,000 yards. Isaiah Pacheco almost has 1,000 yards. I mean, other than Cook, all four of those guys need 1,100 to 1,200 plus yard seasons to have a breakout, and I think James Cook only needs 800 to 1,000 yards to be considered the breakout season, and that's why I think he has the best chance.
I don't know. I think the Bills are gonna have, a fucking a super big issue. I think they're gonna end up being the good old Bills where they switch running backs midway through the season because they run the ball 3 times a game and that guy doesn't get the yards that they want. Um, Moving on, I think this is